Shalom, family trendsetter. I'm at work. You will hear some noise in the background. Now, I want to show y'all a brief clip that I'm going to come back with my commentary. I'm going to show you why you should never, ever trust a so-called politician, especially a so-called white politician. Watch this. I'll be right back.
Of all the Democrats hoping to be president, the one whose positions have changed the most from what they used to be is arguably Kirsten Gillibrand. Before she was a senator, Gillibrand represented a conservative district in upstate New York. And even though that was a long time ago, she's still trying to make sure the slate is wiped clean for her 2020 run.
You said Trump's immigration positions are racist. Now, as you know, you were more conservative early on in your career on immigration. You said that you were a, quote, firm opponent of giving, quote, amnesty to illegal aliens, unquote. You said English should be, quote, the official language of the United States. You called for expediting deportation of undocumented immigrants. If Trump's immigration positions are racist, were they racist when you held some of those positions as well?
They certainly weren't empathetic, and they were not kind, and I did not think about suffering in other people's lives. And so I took the time. I went down to Brooklyn. I met with India Velasquez, who's been a leader in fighting for families for a long time, and I listened. And I realized that things I had said were wrong.
To be fair, I get why Gillibrand had to say, I went to Brooklyn and I saw things in a different way. Because let's be honest, if she had said, yeah, my policies used to be racist, but then they changed, you know the headlines would just be Gillibrand admits racism. And Trump, he'd never let that go. He'd probably make it her new nickname. He'd be like, my opponent, Ku Klux Kirsten, is so racist, she's trying to steal the nomination from Native Americans like Elizabeth Warren. But this is not the first time that Gillibrand has apologized for her previous policy positions. Because you see, it turns out she also used to be very pro-gun.
As a congresswoman, Gillibrand used that family tradition of hunting to appeal to conservative voters in upstate New York. She boasted an A rating from the NRA.
Why the 180? After I got appointed, I went down to Brooklyn to meet with families who had suffered from gun violence in their communities. And you immediately experience the feeling that I couldn't have been more wrong.
Okay, What's going on in Brooklyn? Like, every time Gillibrand goes to Brooklyn, she changes another position. I feel like they're gonna have to make a remix to that Jay-Z Alicia Keys song. It's gonna be like, now I'm out in Brooklyn, changed my mind on gun rights, used to hate illegals, now I fight the good fight in New York.
Alright, family, so I'm sure y'all picked up on when she said she went to Brooklyn. So each time she made a decision, she had to go to Brooklyn. It's almost like that's the only fucking borough. We got like 5 boroughs in New York, right? Brooklyn's only one of them. So every time you decide you're going to make a change on how you view things, you have to go to Brooklyn. This is what I'm saying. They all scripted. That's why I would never, even if I had the opportunity to vote, I wouldn't vote. And when I say I have the opportunity, it means that because I know I'm a Hebrew, I'm not supposed to be voting for another nation over me. I wouldn't even do it because they all scripted. They all politicians at the end of the day. Every last one of them, even the so-called black contenders of the presidency, they all fucking politician. When they asked them about reparation, they stutter. They can't really expound upon that because they know once they talking about reparation, right? I think it was only one individual, that is Elizabeth Warren, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, they don't want to talk about it because once they talk about it, it's a deal breaker. Because the majority of these so-called patriotic Americans, white American, they're not trying to give us nothing for our ancestors, our free labor. They're not trying. They gave the $5 Indians reparation. They gave the Jewish people reparation that they didn't have anything to do with, them being, according to their story, his story, because, right, his story is his story, that they was gassed. The amount of Jews that they say was gassed was impossible to be gassed because the oven that they showed, this shit couldn't even fit that many fucking Jews. And there wasn't even that many Jews to begin with at that time frame. But, that's for another video. So they all politicians, man. This is one of the reasons why we should not be out there voting. I don't care whether they're so-called white people or black people or if they sound like they're going to be there because every politician that have run for president, including Obama, right, basically run for change. Obama, his slogan was change, change, change. But what change happened for black people? Nothing. We got gunned down more under his administration than any administration there was. You know what I'm saying? So what exactly did he do for black people? Because he wasn't black. I told y'all, Obama wasn't black. His mother is a Jew and his father from Kenya. And when it comes to our plight, our ancestors were slaves. The Kenyans never went into slavery. Okay, it was only the west part of Africa, and the Kenyans don't live in West Africa, so they don't know nothing about slavery. They never, endured any kind of slavery and shit. I'm just trying to keep it simple. So why are y'all going out there voting for any of these fucking politicians, even Bernie Sanders? Because he also is a Jew. And these people don't have, he sounds good. He sounds like he could be for the people. But at the end of the day, they're all fucking politicians. They're all scripted politicians. This bitch say she had to go to Brooklyn in order for her to get a revelation that what she decided to lobby for was wrong. Get out of here, bitch. You scripted. Why you couldn't go to the Bronx? Why you couldn't go to Manhattan? You know what I mean? Why Brooklyn? We don't only have poverty and illegal aliens in Brooklyn. We got them all over the fucking 5 boroughs of New York. But family, look, I just want y'all to understand, man, we need to be aware who we're dealing with. They need our vote because voting is a ritual. It's not necessarily that our vote count. It counts only because when we, the children of Yasharal or Israel, right, the true Hebrew Israelite, endorse these devils, and once they go to war and shed blood, these innocent blood are on our shoulders. We need to endorse them. They need our blessing in order for them to succeed. That's why they try to at least hire one so-called African American in their company, because that's the only way it can thrive. You know what I'm saying? They need us. All right, according to Deuteronomy chapter 20, we're cursed, right? Why, if we're the cursed people, why the fuck did they go to Africa and came here to the United States of America and took slave to dwell amongst them, to live amongst them, if we're so cursed? We're not cursed. We are blessed. They need us. They need us in order for them to be successful. I'm telling y'all, family, you might think they hate us because they need us. That's as simple as that. They hate us because they need us. When you depend on something that you really don't like for example, when you were a smoker, I used to be a cigarette smoker, right? I used to hate cigarette, but I was addicted to this shit. I hated it, but I needed it when I'm stressed out. So that's why they hate us, because they need us. They really do. They need us because they can't go in their own cotton field and pick the fucking cotton. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they don't want us around them because they know that, by default and shit, they ruling, and they know it's only temporarily they gonna be here for, because the Most High created them for destruction. He actually created them, as a battle axe to punish us, but these demonic entity went too far. He gave them free will, and they went too far with that free will, and that's going to be a testimony against them and their ancestors. Their ancestors did not escape judgment, family. Their ancestors are going to be punished, just like how they're going to be punished. But I just want to share that shit with you. Y'all shouldn't even be going out there and vote. You know what I'm saying? Don't go. I know I'm only one voice, but y'all shouldn't be going out there and vote, because no change is going to come in the black community. No change. Have it came in the past, and damn sure ain't no change coming in the future. Only the Most High is going to deliver us. And believe me, he's doing that as we speak. He's turning these other nations against each other. And believe me, soon enough, the United States of America will be destroyed. And with that, I say shalom.